And we are TwoPaperGirls.
Today we're doing the intimidating book tag. This was started by Lindsay Ray quite a few years ago, but she recently redid it and we'll leave her video down below. This tag is basically all about the scary books on your TBR. When you have a big TBR, there tends to be ones that you want to read, but you just have like a mental block with them for some reason. So this tag is all about that. We weren't tagged by anyone, but we just thought it looked really good.
Question number 1 is, what book were you unable to finish?
My answer for this is The Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling. This is a bit of a hunker and it's an adult book about boring people in a village, but I was determined to like it because it's the first thing she released since Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows, but it just wasn't my thing. I got about halfway through and that took me months. And I'm not sure I'll ever finish this. I was kind of intimidated by the hype around it, I think, as well. Like, I really wanted to love it and just couldn't accept that it wasn't my kind of book.
I did not finish The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness, which is weird because all the Patrick Ness books I've read since then I've really liked, but I think I just wasn't in the mood for this, and I tried to read it when I wasn't, and I don't know why, I just didn't enjoy it. It's got a dog in and everything. I know I need to give this another try, but it's just a book that is loved by so many people that I just never finished.
And the second question is, which book haven't you been able to finish because you just haven't had the time?
I haven't been able to finish Inheritance by Christopher Paolini. It's signed and everything. Laura bought me this for my birthday nearly 5 years ago. I just haven't had the time to commit to this. Also, the series, I've got to reread the other two. Like, I remember what happened in Aragon, but Brissinger and Bloody Aldous, I'm just like, I don't remember what happens, and I just haven't had the time to read this book.
A book I just haven't had the time for is The Letters of Vincent van Gogh. I've had this for years because I love Vincent van Gogh. I think his life is really interesting. I read a graphic novel last year called Vincent, which is like a very small version of this, but that was really good. And I just find his life really interesting, but this book is just quite intimidating because it's fairly long. It's a good 500 pages and it's quite dense. It's just letters that he writes and it's not like plot driven or anything. It's quite like a historical biography read. So yeah, I just feel like I haven't had the time to commit to this and really get involved with it.
Question number 3 is a book you haven't read yet because it's a sequel.
My answer for this, I'm kind of twisting it, is Fallen Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. I really don't want 2 6-book YA fantasy series on the go at once because I'm really rubbish with series, so I'm kind of not letting myself start this until I'm up to date with the Throne of Glass series, which I'm getting more and more behind with because I need to read Heir of Fire and Queen of Shadows, and there's probably another one coming out this year. And this book also has now like 4 or 5 books out, but I just don't want them both on the go because I think I'll just never end up finishing either of them.
And the sequel that I haven't yet to got round to is Standoff by Andrew Smith. I mean, I love Dwinger, but I just feel like it's wrapped up quite well. I don't know why there is a sequel. I guess there is like a big shock at the end of Winger that you want to kind of see how everyone's like dealing with it afterwards, but I just haven't got around to it yet, but I really want to because Andrew Smith.
And question number 4 is, what book haven't you started yet because it's brand new?
I haven't got this one with me, but Infinite Sea by Rick Yancey, because I read The Fifth Wave and then I went out and bought Infinite Sea, and I just haven't got around to it yet because I bought it pretty recently. I'm pretty good with reading books straight off the bounce when I buy them, but not this time. I think it's because, like what I said with Winger and Standoff, like Fifth Wave kind of wrapped up quite nicely. I don't know where Infinite Sea is going to go.
My answer for this is A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. This literally did only come out about a month ago, 6 weeks maybe, and I only just read A Dark Shade of Magic, but I did buy A Gathering of Shadows pretty much straight away. But it has only just come out and I do want a bit of a gap in between reading Dark Shade of Magic, so haven't got around to this one yet. Probably won't for another couple of months, but it is very new, so I don't feel too bad.
Question 5 is a book that you haven't read because you read another book by the same author but you didn't like it.
My answer for this is How I Live Now by Meg Rosoff. You may remember in my little ranty videos about books I don't like that my least favourite book is There Is No Dog by Meg Rosoff. It sounded great. It was about a guy who... It was about God was a teenage boy. It was like, oh, it's an amazing idea. I hated that book. It was so stupid. And I've heard this one's really good, and I have seen the film, and I really enjoyed it, but I've heard the book's even better. It's kind of a World War III craziness, but every time I kind of think about reading it, I'm just like, oh, but There Is No Dog was so bad, so I'm not sure.
A book that I probably won't ever read is Landline by Rainbow Rowell, just because I hated Fangirl so much, or anything else by Rainbow Rowell, especially Carry On. I just won't bother. I mean, the book sounds good. I'm probably like shooting myself in the foot just because I didn't like fangirl, which wasn't really Rainbow Rowell's fault. It was written well. I just didn't like anyone in the book. I don't like twins. I've decided I don't like twins and sisters when they're really annoying like that. But I just probably won't ever read anything by her again.
The next question is, which book haven't you read because you just haven't been in the mood for it?
I bought a book called Shadow and Bone. You may have heard of it by Lee Bardugo. And I just haven't felt like it, you know. I like fantasy, but this one just, I don't know how I feel about the Grisha trilogy. I just haven't been in the mood for it. I want to read it, but you know, mood has not took me.
I haven't been in the mood to read The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman because I've heard from everyone how great he is, and I bought this kind of because of the hype. I think it's other books by him I'd enjoy more. I did try this and found it a bit too kiddie, but I'm just not in the mood for like, magical realism isn't really my genre anyway. Along with the kiddie middle grade kind of writing, it's just a bit wacky and I'm not in the mood for it.
Question 7 is a book you haven't read yet because it's just so humongous.
My answer for this is Nightville by Marisha Petal because it's a bit of a beast. It's 600 plus pages and it's all just a bit of a wacky whatever, and I do find these books really fast paced, but this one's kind of so big. I'm like, can it be fast paced for the whole thing? Because it's just really big, isn't it? If it was half the size, I probably would have read it by now. But because it's so huge, I'm just worried it's going to get slow and I won't enjoy it, and it's just big.
My humongous book is Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. It's not just this book that's huge, which is over 800 pages. It doesn't look it. Over 800. It's just the series. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, including this one. And there's just such a commitment to that. I don't know if I can do it, but it looks so good and I really want to get around to it.
Question 8 is, which book haven't you read yet because it was a cover buy but the reviews turned out to be not that great?
The one I chose for this one was Challenger Deep by Neil Shusterman because I really liked the Unwind series, but I never actually got around to finishing it. So I bought this one when I was still really into it, thinking, more Neil Shusterman. But I just didn't get any good reviews about it, and I was just a bit demotivated to read it, and it's been a couple of years now, and I'm worried that I'm never going to finish it. But the cover is quite pretty. He's underwater and he's swimming.
Mine is Serafina by Rachel Hartman because this is one of my favourite covers of any book that I own. I think it's a really gorgeous style and it's dragons and it just sounds amazing. But I think I did try it when I wasn't really in the mood and gave up after a couple of pages because it was confusing. But yeah, I haven't heard the best reviews. I've heard quite a few people say that it's just kind of, there's a bad romance in it and that it's really confusing and the world isn't very well done and the dragon element of it is really bad. But there is also some good reviews and I'd still really want to try it because it's right on my street in terms of what it's about. But yeah, the reviews have definitely put me off picking it up.
The last question is, what is the most intimidating book on your TBR?
Mine is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss because I just think I'm going to love this. It sounds amazing. I bought it years ago and I've nearly picked it up quite a couple of times, but then I'm just like, oh, but it's so big and it's a brand new fantasy world that I don't know anything about, because I think fantasy is a bit easier to get into when there's been a film or something that you can kind of help you picture everyone and the names and the places. So because I've have no idea what this is about, I'm just scared that I'm going to be really confused. And everyone says, oh, it's a really quick read. I'm like, it's 700 pages, it can't be that quick. And yeah, I'm just scared. But this summer, I think it's going to happen. I'm going to take it on my holiday, I'm going to lounge by the beach and hopefully get through it.
My most intimidating book, which we'll also see on our top 5 most intimidating books on Top 5 Wednesday, now hosted by Sam from Thoughts on Tomes. But anyway, my most intimidating book is 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami. Looks so good. To be fair, this looks more intimidating than it is because this is all of the books which Laura lovely bought me for Christmas. But it just looks so good, but it's just intimidating, especially because it's Japanese as well. I'm just is it going to be am I going to understand it? I don't really understand what the back's about, but I'm really excited to read this. I'm just going to fight through the mental block.
That is it for the Intimidating TBR Book Tag. We had a lot of fun doing this, and it's kind of nice reminding yourself of some books that you just need to get round to and get rid of the mental block with them.
Recently we've made a new friend of BookTube, so we're going to tag Taylor from Book of Flicks Taylor. Have a good time doing this tag. We're sorry if you haven't really got a big book TBR. To be fair, I haven't either, but I've reminded myself now of a couple of books that I just want to get round to.
We hope you enjoyed this video. Let us know about your intimidating books down below and we will see you on the next one.
Bye!